Good evening, this is Elton G again. I was just looking at the news and I was looking at how Donald Trump is telling the National Guard and the FBI that the black people and stuff in DC they gonna try to fight back, but he telling the FBI and the National Guard to knock the hell out of them. I'm going to play the video on the news for you.
President Trump takes over. The president ordering the military to take over law enforcement in Washington, D.C. Trump saying 800 National Guard troops will be stationed in Washington and even more if necessary. Today, he painted a brutal picture of crime in the district.
It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness. They fight back until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand. It's a disgusting thing.
Keep that in mind, and then remember what the president said about January 6th, calling it, quote, very minor incidents. That's what he called the attack on the U.S. Capitol against law enforcement. At least 140 officers were injured. 5 officers died after the insurrection on the Capitol. And then the president pardoned his supporters. Now he's saying D.C. officers should, quote, fight back and knock the hell out of perpetrators. It's also worth noting that violent crime in Washington is actually falling dramatically. After a spike immediately following the pandemic, the violent crime rate in D.C. has been steadily going down ever since. Even one violent crime is too many, of course, but the rate is now at a 30-year low. So why Trump is claiming this is an emergent now? A mystery. But we do know that the president has made.
You see where the president going? Crime rate in Washington, D.C. is at a 30-year low. And this man is taking the very people that live in Washington, D.C. This man, the president of the United States, is taking your tax dollars and putting the pit bulls on you and telling them to knock the hell out of you. Can you imagine how arrogant and racist and so out of bounds that the president that you paying his $400,000 salary, you paying for him to fly around and to ride in the beast, and this man and the state is at a 30-year low as far as violent crime, and you're gonna call the FBI and the National Guard out to go into Washington, D.C. and knock the hell out of them and throw all the homeless people off the street with our own tax dollars. That's why I say God is with us. We do not have to we don't have to let our own federal government that we pay come into a state and knock us upside the head. Who do this guy in the white national think they are? They not a God. The Constitution says that no matter who you are, whether you're the president of the United States or are you the vice president of the United States, or you a Supreme Court justice, under the Constitution, everybody is equal. Everything that Trump tried to do to you against the Constitution, you got every reason to defend. That's what the Constitution says. That's what God says. How can you come up against a strong man's house except you first got to bind the strong man? And then you'll be able to spoil his goods. The president is dead wrong. The president is against the Constitution. There's no way that you can support somebody that's telling the National Guard and the FBI to come into your community It's a commonwealth, it's not a state. They come in your community, and just because you don't like it and you think it's unlawful, to knock you upside of your head. My God, how have Americans fallen? How have Americans fallen? But don't be surprised if you lose. Don't be surprised if you lose. I don't want no crying on Fox News. I don't want no crying on News Nation and all these different radical white national channels. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear it. When you be laying in the street, you better not come on the news and cry not one time. Because I'm not going to hear it. You ain't hearing us. You don't care nothing about us. The only thing that you want Trump to do with our own tax money is hit us upside the head. We're not going to take it. We're not. I always said I don't believe in violence. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in freedom of expression. I believe freedom to petition our government. I believe in freedom of religion. I believe in all that. And I believe in the Constitution. And I pledge my allegiance to the flag. I ain't going to let nobody come into a state and claim that so much crime is going on. This is the same man that ordered January 6th. This is the same man that raped, not raped, that's a bad, I strike that. Sexual assaulted Eugene Carroll. This is the same man, his company defrauded the American people and American business. This is the same man that's been convicted of 34 felonies. This is the same man that was impeached twice. And he's going to have the audacity to talking about what happened in Washington, D.C. when crime is down almost 30%. Shame on you. Shame, 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 shame. But when you see all the blood, I don't want to hear nothing.